All right, everybody, welcome back to another week of Trash Conspiracy with your boy, Peyton Jones, the Alabama Trash Panda himself, as always, sipping on a nice. I got a dirty martini this week. You can even see the olive. That's a blue cheese stuffed olive, because I'm fancy. Okay, look, before we start anything, I got to ask everybody to do the two things that's the most annoying thing to ask everybody to do, but you got to like this and you got to subscribe. If you haven't already, I know most of y'all already have, but like, do it again. Tell a friend, share it, post some comments, notification bells, all. Anyway, again, thank you for coming back this week. I have. It's an old conspiracy, but it's still very much alive. We're going to talk about the death of the iconic, the legendary Marilyn Monroe. Now, this was officially ruled a probable suicide, but there's a lot of other information that says maybe she was murdered. And the question isn't really if she was murdered, it's more of a question of how she was murdered. And before we get into this, because I know somebody's going to say some shit, yeah, I'm wearing a different hat this week, and that's a conspiracy in itself. No, it's not. There's one reason I switched to being a Pats fan. Cam Newton. Let's just get that out of the way. Cam is the best. Super Cam. Let's go. All right. Now back to serious business. There's a lot of questions on who could have killed Marilyn Monroe. And again, it's ruled most likely possible suicide. But it also could have been the mafia. It also could have been the CIA. It also could have been JFK himself. Which is interesting. Because JFK could have ordered the mafia or the CIA to do it for him. All right, we'll get into this. The main thing is that the days leading up to her suicide, it was said that she had multiple like death threats, mostly because of her torrid affair with JFK and all the sex stuff that goes on there. I respect JFK. I really do. That's a president that fucks, and Trash Panda fucks too. I'm just letting you guys know. Anybody that loves a good martini fucks, just look out for it. So what's interesting is that on the night of her death, JFK says that he was in San Francisco while she was Beverly Hills or some shit. Wherever famous white ladies live. Basically, they were in different cities, despite multiple reports that JFK was seen at her house by multiple sources on that same night. Now, that's just circumstantial, yada yada. There's also reports that Chicago mob boss Sam Giancana wanted her dead because she apparently had a relationship with one of his henchmen, Johnny Roselli, who is a fixer for the Chicago Mafia. Now it's kind of weird because there's a lot of connections between JFK and the Chicago Mafia, which are not very good looking connections. I'll just say that. But when you add those things together, it's possible that JFK got the mob to do the hit for him. Now, why? Why would JFK want to have Marilyn Monroe murdered? I can tell you. Because he can't keep his mouth shut after he's done having sex. Apparently, he just decided to spill the beans about a secret Air Force base in the middle of some pillow talking. That secret Air Force base, by the way, Roswell. That's right. Aliens. What can I say? Why does it always come back to aliens? I know why it's always aliens. Because aliens are they're the damn Illuminati. It's the Illuminati. It's always the. Why is it always the Illuminati? Can I just have one conspiracy that isn't the Illuminati? Jesus. Now, apparently, Marilyn Monroe was making a lot of threatening comments, both about the mob and was going to release some information about their operations, but also was going to do a press conference to release information about Area 51. I don't know if it's possible. It's absolutely possible. It's like an actress gets a hold of some juicy information. It's like the original Instagram was the newspaper. It's the original Facebook feed. And she was going to spill the beans, so she had to go. Now, I find that interesting because if she was going to tell the world about aliens, which we all know are real, I mean, come on. It would make sense for JFK to have the CIA do the hit for him. So maybe the CIA stopped her for JFK, for the aliens, which is really the Illuminati. See, you gotta connect the dots. You gotta tie the strings on a chalkboard and just make the connections. Now, there's one more theory about the death of Marilyn Monroe, which I kind of like because I feel like this is how I would go out. There's a theory that she's not even dead. That she's still alive. Well, she might be dead now because she'd be old as hell. But there's a theory that she was still alive in 1984. There's a book written by this guy, John A. Baker, in 1984, where he claims he picked up a hitchhiker in Nova Scotia, Canada. And apparently this woman claimed that she was Marilyn Monroe, and she had spent 20 years in a mental institution, mental institution, completely unnoticed, mostly due to the mental breakdown of having so many death threats, and then was eventually released. Now, John Baker says that she was homeless, scared, and paranoid schizophrenic, and most people would not believe her story because of her mental state. But he said she did bear the resemblance, and she actually had a singing voice that was almost identical to Marilyn Monroe. And I like to believe that, because I would like to believe that instead of being murdered, she just got sent off to the farm like a dying puppy. Which is, I know, morbid, but like at least she got to live. And now, homelessness ain't so bad. I've done it. It's not the worst thing in the world. Now, look, as always, I am not saying that any of this is true. all I'm saying is all of it happened, and there's documentation. And you should maybe look up that book by John A. Baker. Again, these are always fun. I do want to give a shout out real quick to my sponsor, Brighton House Pizza, for backing up the Brinks truck, giving me a paycheck. Hell yes, we did it, guys. That's why I need you to continue to like and subscribe. That way I can keep getting paid. I can keep entertaining you. Plus, I get free pizza. I'm working on getting a promo code so you guys can get cheaper pizza, but we'll see how that works out. Well, as always, guys, until next week, when I come back with another trash conspiracy, get buffed.
Strange, 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 strange.